Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, great leaders and great scholars. Thank you so much for joining us once again tonight. My name is Mazwe Majola. I'm from the Worldwide Institute of Leadership and Development. As you know, we are so passionate, we are so compassionate about leadership because we believe that everything revolves around leadership. As we always say, that leadership is everything and everything is leadership. Therefore, great leaders constantly develop themselves because leadership is a journey. Leadership is not a destination. You want to be a great leader, you've got to constantly develop yourself until you go to the grave. We meet here every Wednesdays as scholars, as leaders from all sectors to learn, to unlearn, to relearn, and to co-learn. We meet here to encourage each other, to inspire each other, to empower each other, to admonish each other, to correct each other. Yes, as leaders, just to share. Because as you're saying that, as leaders, we've got to exchange notes. So this platform is it's a community of leaders where peers speak to other peers, where leaders empower each other. Tonight, we are so glad and thank you so much for joining in. Obviously, I know that it's our big week. As you know that it's our Easter weekend. Many churches obviously start tomorrow. Others will start on Friday. Of course, yes, it's already. Others already started on Sunday. But we thank you that you made time, and we know that others are on holidays. They took holidays for a couple of days. But because we don't stop, we don't close shop here in this platform. We always say that we don't close shop, and we respect and admire and appreciate you for taking time to join even in this busy week. As we are saying, all of us will be going to churches, different churches. So it's not that the fact that we are here tonight, it means that we are not going to celebrate the death and the resurrection of the Christ. We'll be definitely doing that. But of course, yes, while we are still here on earth, we've got to make sure that things are done correctly. That is why we are meeting here tonight. And tonight we are discussing a very wonderful topic, and we are hosting a dear brother of mine, and I'm so happy that in his very busy schedule, really, he was so humble enough to accept our invitation to come and share some notes with us tonight. As we are saying that we meet as scholars, as leaders, but we do empower each other. So tonight we are talking I guess it's going to be a little bit motivational, which we do need. We do need as leaders, really to be pumped a little bit, to be pushed, to be inspired, motivated in whatever we do. We're talking about locating, using, and increasing potential. Because yes, I think your potential. You can't use another person's potential. And then we are hosting, or will be addressed, as I said, by one of the greatest leaders that we have in South Africa. We always say in this platform, the beauty with our country is that the countries are awash with great leaders. And we are so fortunate in this platform that we find time to unleash these great leaders and also to hear from them, just to advise us and to inspire us. My brother, Coach Samuel Baloyi, most of you know him. He has maybe spoken, whether it's your companies or in your churches or in your organizations, wherever you are. If you have not do that, I hope from tonight onwards, you'll be able to invite him to come and assist your employees and your colleagues, wherever you are. He's a managing director of PAR Excellence. As I'm saying that, he's coaching, he's a leader, he's training, he's coaching, he's mentoring many leaders, he's inspirational leader. Yeah, he does so many things. So we are so looking forward to hear from him tonight. My brother, once again, thank you so much for availing yourself. We really appreciate in this platform that you came, and we are here to listen to you. And we definitely want to assure you whatever you're going to teach us or leave us with tonight, we will be very impactful to us. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir. You can address us now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. I really appreciate the opportunity. I really don't take it lightly. And I know that you are also looking forward to what I'll be sharing today here on this platform. It's my first time on this platform, but I have been observing all the ads that you have been doing over a period of time and all the guests that you have been having. I must say, as a preamble, that you are doing a great job yourself. You know that impact is not only physical, but impact can also be intangible. Impact can be from a distance. So there are many people that are observing the work that you are doing, and they are being impacted even from a distance. So be encouraged, my leader, that in all seasons, the favor that you can do yourself, it's never to stop pursuing this vision and the mission that God has given you. It's really impactful and transformational. People are learning, people are growing, and people are finding themselves through this platform. It's making a great, great impact in the lives of the people. And I also would like to welcome every leader that has joined us tonight in this platform. If it was not for you, we would not be doing this. So really thank you for making time to join us tonight, and let us share information and knowledge together. Let us sharpen one another, as it is a norm on this platform to sharpen one another as leaders. So uh, I have been introduced already in the way and the manner that I have been introduced, but I just want to add in the introduction that I am a married man to one wife and not looking for more. If my wife was here, I always joke and say, one problem is enough. You know, when scriptures say, lift up your burdens unto the Lord, I lift my wife and she thinks I'm romantic. Whereas I'm actually saying, Lord, here is the challenge that I'm faced with. And she does the same joke with me. We are 13 years married. In this month, we are going to turn 14 years being married together. And I'm mentioning this because we are sharing the purposes of our lives as well. I think it's tragedy to be married to somebody whom you are not sharing life's purpose with. It's frustrating, it's peeving, it's irritating. But I think I'm blessed in that regard, and that is why also blessings are following me in whatever that I touch and whatever that I do. Certain principles, we need to talk about them, because if we don't, there are people that follow us, there are people that hear us that will miss those principles, and their lives will stagnate if we don't teach them certain principles. So tonight I'm talking about locating, using, and increasing potential. You might have heard some good speakers talking about potential before. And I have listened to some speakers before talking about potential, and I've really loved what they were sharing on the subject matter. And I believe that even tonight, myself, I have an opportunity to share a little bit on that subject matter, which is very, very important. Someone once said that when a child is born, they are born with folded hands, signifying that everybody is born carrying or holding on to a potential. And all that needs to be done, it's for those hands to be unfolded as they live their lives and release that which they were born with. And this is critical because potential is indeed intrinsic. Potential is innate. Potential is congenital. It is intrinsic. So this is why that many people do not notice the potentials of other people because they are on the inside of those people. We only get to know about the potential of people when they reach a point where they unfold, unravel their hands and expose the potential that they were born with to the world. So potential is basically the ability to achieve something greater in the future. So it might not have to do with the past because you cannot necessarily change the past. It has already transpired, it has already happened, and there's nothing that you can do about it. But potential is the ability to achieve something greater in the future or to become something greater in the future. So, all of us as leaders that are here and those that are not here, we carry a potential. The greatest question remains, have you located your potential? Because it is tragedy, again, to carry something big and greater and not be aware that you are carrying it. You are positioning yourself for abuse. You are positioning yourself to be underused because you don't know what you are carrying and you don't know the value of what you are carrying. And the mistake that we make as humanity is also to misjudge people based on the resources present in their lives, based on the external factors that we are seeing and perceiving in their lives, forgetting that what you see externally is not all there is in the life of a person. There is more that may be hidden on the inside of that person. I have one of the books that I've written is titled Your Mind is Your Mine, M-I-N-E. Your mind is your mine. Highlighting that inside our minds, there are treasures that we need to discover. It is the discovery of those treasures. And in this context today, we are talking potential. It is the discovery of those potentials that do exist in our lives that will then determine and dictate the values of our lives. You see, gold is a precious treasure, is a precious gem, but nobody knows the value of gold until it is discovered. After discovery, it must be refined. After being polished or refined, this is when people can know the value of gold. But in its crude, raw state, people can just pass it by and not noticing or realizing that this is gold. And that is the same principle about potential. There could be gold that lies dormant within each and every one of us, and we don't know how much treasure we carry on the inside until we discover that there is potential on our inside. And after discovering that there is potential, potential must be polished. After it is polished or refined, this is when we can place potential, we can place a treasure that was hidden in our lives. We can then place it on a pedestal for all to see. Pricing of a product only comes after the product has been polished. There is no manufacturer of a product that prices the product before the product is polished. Because in the crude state, in the raw state of the product, its value is not yet known, it's not yet determined. So the potential that we carry on the inside and the potential of anybody that is following us as leaders, its value will only be exuded and reflected and displayed after that potential has been refined. So after discovery, it's refinery. for ease of reference. After discovery, it's refinery, so that you don't forget this point. Now, there are core elements that speaks to potential. We may call them in simple English synonymous words that addresses the subject of potential. Potential is strength. Potential is power, is ability, and vitality. And remember that in the same breath, each and every one of us also have a potential to display the opposite of our strengths. Everyone has a potential to display their weakness. And once you display your weakness instead of your strength, that is how people are going to define you. So that is the reputation that you are selling to the world as a leader. But tonight, let us be conscious and be cognizant of the fact that when we talk about potential, let us only refer to the strengths, the vitality, the ability to do that which can increase our value, the ability to do that which will attract the attention of the people of the world, for them to start perceiving us as serious leaders. Potential, like I said in the beginning, that is always hidden. So it's a future that is hidden within each one of us. And every person alive carries a future inside them. Every person alive carries a future inside them. So you can never undermine people. You can never cancel people because of their current circumstances or current situation. Because each and every person alive carries a future inside them. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of being in the right space, right environment with the right people, and accessing the right opportunity for that person to be able to discover, locate, and unleash their potential. I want to go to the next slide, the hidden nature of potential. Potential is often undiscovered. Isn't this true? That potential is often undiscovered. There are many, many, many people who even die at some point in their lives and go into the grave before they can discover their potential, because potential is often undiscovered. And this is why you need people who will propel you to that place of the location of potential. People who will speak into your life and their words will inspire you to get to the point, the zone, and the arena of locating your potential, so that you avoid living below your capacity. If you live below your capacity, you become what I call a commoner. In other words, you become an average leader. You are like everybody else. There's nothing unique about you. There's no value that people can come to drink from in your life, to tap into in your life. You can underestimate your unique strengths until you discover your potential. You can underestimate your unique strengths until you discover your potential. In the workplace environment, everybody carries a potential. In your personal space, you carry a potential. In the social space, you carry a potential that is hidden and still to be tapped into. So to avoid underestimating your strengths, your abilities, your capacity, you need to be intentional about finding or locating your potential. So the last point on this slide, potential requires activation. Often we discover potential, but if you don't activate potential, it is as good as an undiscovered potential. If potential is not activated, it simply means that potential does not have the ability to be exposed yet. It is like when you expose your dreams prematurely, those dreams can die. If you expose your potential wrongly, prematurely, and in a wrong methodology, that potential can be trampled upon by those who don't consider its value and its uniqueness. So as a leader, it's either you activate your own potential or you find the right leaders to help you with activating your potential so that it can be exposed at the right timing. When your potential is exposed at the right timing, it can fall into the hands of those who care about potential. It is a misery to live expressing your potential to people who don't care about it. It's a misery to live exposing your potential to people who do not care about your potential. It's rather frustrating, it's irritating, it's peeving, it's incapacitating. So, with regards to potential, for its full unleashing, for its full activation, we need the right people, we need the right environment, we need people who care about our potential. Somebody once said that if you are not succeeding where you are, change location. And this simply means that if the people that you are surrounded with don't care about your potential won't thrive. You won't strive yourself through your potential. It needs people who care about it because it is from the place of caring about your potential that people will support your potential. Let us continue with locating your potential. This is how people can locate potential. Number one, people can locate potential accidentally, serendipitously. People can locate potential accidentally. In other words, they did not intend to locate potential, but they found themselves in the right space with the right people and right things happening in that space for them to then locate accidentally their potential. Let me give an example, a personal example. I studied banking amongst other things, and I secured a job in one of the great local banks in South Africa. And as I was working behind the computer, facilitating transactions of people with money whilst I was broke, because I was in the right space, which is called church, and church is a platform where potential is usually cooked because our gifts, talents, and callings are exposed in the platform of the church. So I found myself in the right platform to accidentally discover my potential, that my potential is not that of sitting behind the laptop and facilitating transactions of people who are making it in life whilst I remain mediocre in that position. And this is what led me to discovering my true and real and full potential, which even today, it is what I am using as a vehicle to perform my assignment and my mandate. So leaders, be careful of where you find yourself, with whom you find yourself, spaces where you expose your makeup to, because those spaces can either destroy, kill, bust your potential, or they can expose it. They can help you locate the potential that you are not aware that you possess. So through situational exposure and life events, people can locate their potential. But the second layer, it's intentionality, where people go for the discovery of their potential. They leave their comfort zones, they leave their places of complacency and pursue and go after the location of their potential. So this does not happen accidentally, it happens intentionally. It is purposeful discovery of the strength that you possess, of the potential that you possess, and you give yourself an opportunity to explore until you can put your hand on that which is your direct and full potential. So as leaders as well, when we are in the leadership space, this is a space that is too big for the discovery of potential. This is the a space that is the right space for the discovery of potential. Once you assume leadership roles, once you assume leadership capabilities, once you assume leadership responsibility, you must know that you are in the right space, right environment, right atmosphere for the location of your potential. Let's talk about the next point, the uniqueness of potential. Now, this is very, very critical. If you forget everything that I have said, please remember this. In the entire globe, in the entire world, there is not even a single person with the exact abilities and gifts that you possess. Not even a single person with the exact, precise abilities and gifts that you possess as a leader. What does this mean? It means you could be occupying the same space with various numbers of other leaders. But amongst every leader occupying that space, none can be you. None can be like you. And this is why we speak down on the matter of emulation or imitating other people. Because as you imitate them, you are leaving your own space vacant. You are leaving a vacuum in your own space of potential. As you become other people, who will become you? Who will learn from you? Who will emulate you? So learning from other people is different to emulating people, because nobody has the exact makeup or hallmark that you possess in the entire world. This truth has made me to be where I am and to do what I do, with the understanding at the back of my mind that my abilities, nobody carries the exact abilities. There are many professional speakers in the world, countless, but no one carries my exact abilities. And this is what makes me to be content with who I am, to be content with the potential that I possess, the potential that I carry. And whatever level or at whatever level I perform, I am content, because my only competition, it's my abilities. My only competition is my unique potential. My competition is not the potential of other people. I learn from others, but I remain unique as a leader. This is a strength that leaders must possess, the strength of uniqueness, the strength of operating with your unique potential, unique abilities, and unique strength. Your uniqueness, listen to this, your uniqueness is your competitive advantage. If you are placed on the same platform with people who are doing what you do, what is it that people can come for in you that is different from how everybody else is doing what you do with them in the same space? What is it that is unique that people can come for? Remember that our makeup, our natural order, intrinsic order, it's made in a manner that it is magnetic. So it depends on what your internal order, internal hallmark is actually magnetic to. It's actually attracting. What are you attracting? That speaks about your uniqueness. Because if you're attracting wrong things, it means you are an average leader. If you're attracting the best, it means you have discovered your uniqueness as a leader. Recognize your unique potential, embrace your unique potential, and continue to develop your unique potential. Let's talk about using your potential. I said, as I was beginning, that an unused potential is as good as a non-existing potential. An unused potential is as good as a dead potential. So if we are going to be recognized in this world, if we are going to be leaders of value in this world, after locating our strengths, our potential, and finding our footing in this world through our natural, unique abilities, let us now use that potential. It is in using the potential that you remain relevant in this world. Your relevancy, your contextuality is dependent upon the usage of your potential. Like somebody said one day, that you don't wait for opportunities, you create opportunities. When you have created the space to perform through your potential, what you are doing, you are creating value for yourself. You are creating value for yourself. Value is tantamount equivalent and commensurate to how much you use your potential. Value is tantamount, is equivalent, is commensurate to how much you use your potential. That should be what occupies your mind on a daily basis. When I take a shower in the morning and say I'm going to work or I'm going to a platform to perform, how much are you willing and ready to use your potential? Because that is where your value stems from. If people don't know how much you can do, then they don't know you. Because people only define you by how much you can do. Imagine the most celebrated soccer players in South Africa that have played for Bafana Bafana in the past times. Those prominent names, had not they used their potential, we would not have known who they are. Even today, we are talking about the names of the likes of Dr. Khumalo. But the man is no longer playing soccer. But his name has been protracted from the place of how he has used his potential. So do you see that our future as leaders lies in how much we use our potential today? Our future as leaders lies in how much we use our potential today. If you are not using your potential, can I be frank and blunt with you as a leader? You don't have an effective future. If you are not using your potential, you don't have an effective future. I'm using that word intentionally. You don't have an effective future. In other words, a future that is recognizable, a future that has impact. You don't have it if you are not using your potential today. Because using potential is actually or de facto planting a seed on fertile ground. If you don't plant a seed, there's nothing that germinates under the ground. And if your seed can be an acorn seed, remember the power of a seed. It does not matter what size the seed is. Any seed that is planted on fertile ground, it will germinate. But what more when you plant an acorn seed? An acorn seed is that strong, solid, and big seed that will produce the tallest tree in the forest. What this means, essentially, is that when your seed has produced the tallest tree in the forest, there's no way you can be avoided. There's no way you can be ignored as a leader. Even those who don't like you, they will use your potential because it is the tallest tree in the forest. How tall is your tree is dependent on how strong and how big is the seed of potential that you have planted. Active use of potential produces tangible growth and influence. If you want to influence the world as a leader, that influence will emanate and stem from the activation and the use of your potential. The activation and the use of your potential. Let's look at active potential versus dormant potential. A dormant potential is the same as keeping a lion in your house, but that lion lives like a domestic cat because that is how it was trained. So dormant potential does not mean the potential does not exist. It simply means that the nature of the potential, it's not yet activated. It's not yet discovered. It's not yet used fully. So you have a lion in the house, but that lion behaves like a domestic cat. because of how it has been trained by yourself in that home. So dormant potential, it's an untapped, idle, and unexpressed potential. It's dormant. It's a domestic cat type of potential. And the outcome is always stagnation, circling in the same circle, in the same space, in the same place, in the same arena, in the same zone, without being progressive. But an activated potential, a used potential, it's a potential that is used regularly. In other words, your potential, it's not seasonal. We are not only talking about your past when it concerns the usage of your potential. We are not talking about your past performance, but we are talking about your consistent performance. Because you were not only useful in the past, you are still using your potential even today. And that ensures your relevance. That ensures how contextual you are in the space that you occupy. As an academic, as a leader, as a servant of the people. And the outcome of an active and used potential, of course, it is results. It's results driven. And number two, it is growth oriented. Let's talk about growth a little bit. There is physical, natural, biological growth, which is measured by age. The number of years, the number of months, the number of hours, minutes, seconds that you have lived in life. And if you are not growing through potential, this is what happens. You develop an entitlement mentality, a mentality that feels that you are still relevant, you are still powerful just because you are old. My leaders, I implore you, never allow the spirit of ageism to possess you, because you will feel entitled to things you are not working for just because of age. And like the wise man once said, age is just a number. So our focus should be on being effective, on experiencing real growth that is measurable, growth that we can have the metrics to actually measure, growth that is metric oriented, growth that we can go back to say, this is where I was in terms of my personal development, and this is where I am now, premised on the usage of my potential. So as I use my potential, I develop. As I use my potential, I grow. And that is the growth that we need to value as leaders, because it is the growth that the people are looking for in us. People are not looking for the growth that comes with age. We have a lot of elderly people with no capacity to guide, lead, direct, and advise the young ones. But those who have used their potential, those who have been growth conscious, they have developed beyond and above their age. And they have developed and packaged capacity to can be able to advise, guide, lead, and direct the young ones that are upcoming. We are talking about the last aspect of my presentation, which is about increasing potential. So on recap, we are talking about locating potential, using potential, and increasing potential. When potential is not increased, it means its value remains stagnant. When potential is not increased, it means its value remains stagnant. A potential that is not increased, proliferated, ramped up, will erode. Your potential will die before its time. Your potential will dissipate into thin air once you don't learn to increase your potential. Directed to academics, you might have achieved your qualification in whatever career that you were pursuing. But if you cease to read books, if you cease to assimilate knowledge and information through such platforms, through investing in personal development kind of knowledge and information, your potential will erode. Though you are certificated, you will remain uncapacitated or incapacitated because you are not increasing potential. And remember that knowledge is like a sea. It's broad. The little knowledge you have in your own space does not mean you know everything. And this is why potential has got to be increased through assimilating knowledge continually, consistently, so that as your potential increases, your relevance increases. As your potential increases, your value increases. As your potential increases, you are positioning yourself to mentor other people. I always simplify mentorship and I say a mentor means man on a tour. Man on a tour means I've traveled the trajectory and I've reached points and intervals that you have not yet reached. So I allow you through relationship to piggyback on my shoulders so that you don't repeat the mistakes that I have made. You don't have to fail where I have failed. You don't have to struggle where I have struggled. So when you piggyback on my shoulders, is the same as being placed on a pedestal for all people to see you shining, to see your light as you stand on that pedestal. Increase of potential, it's increase of value. If you don't increase potential, it becomes obsolete. Obsolete means your potential becomes unused anymore. People are not interested in it anymore because it was useful in the past when you were using it, but you failed to increase it. How relevant will it be to the current generation, to the next generation, if that potential is not being increased? So increasing potential simply talks about continuous improvement, which brings sustainable impact and protection from erosion. Second of last, I want to talk about the inside-out principle. Potential is inside and it's expressed externally. The mindset of a leader should bring about internal discipline and knowledge development. The character of a leader should bring about, induce, and engender integrity and learning as the foundation of success. But lastly, results. If our potential is not bringing results, then our potential, it's either not being used or it is not rightly used. External success reflects internal development. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Samuel Baloyi. I thank you for your time. Mine is up. Ntate Majola, you may take over.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. Can you just close your presentation on your side as my appreciating you there as we always do. Please find the icon there where you can just show some love. I mean, appreciation from what we have just heard. Yeah, wow, thank you, my brother, thank you. I think my colleagues will agree with me that we needed this as leaders, especially in this platform. We are very senior in this platform. We've got professors, doctors, we've got highly educated people. We've got CEOs, board members, executive. You've got very, very senior people. And I know that, as we always say, we never arrive, but most of us, you may think that we have achieved certain things, you know. And we always talk about deep issues, about frameworks, about models, about theories, about this and this. Of course, that's because we develop them and we work with them. So, how, I mean, what a wonderful inspiration, what a wonderful motivation. We needed this. That I like when you are saying that, or when you address the spirit of ageism. I saw a comment there from my brother, Dr. Sifuko, saying that wishes he had this many, many years ago. I'd like you to express yourself there, Dr. Sifuko, just to let us know what because just to say, why do you think really now compared to then? But I understand where you are coming from because really this thing we need to hear. We are human beings. We are social beings. We do need to be, I mean, pumped up sometimes, or and be reminded about this principle. So thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. And indeed, um, uh, obviously, we're not closing the session for now. I just wanted to thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we can now engage with our speaker. I see that Dr. Sifuko wants to come in there. Over to you, my brother.
Okay, thanks, and happy New Year to you, Prof, and the colleagues. I've never spoken this year. I was preoccupied with registration, admissions, and all those things. Look, I think the speaker has squashed my idea, ageism. That when you're old. But look, what I try to say, I'm not sure if I might have seen him sometimes, on SABC or channel whatsoever station speaking, and he was advertising a book, and I wanted to follow up on the book, but I couldn't. But what it's just if I could have heard this message earlier, but he challenged that ideology. Sometimes talent cannot be prematurely early come because sometimes it is. So I don't know what to say, but it was very great for me. It was an eye opener. That when you are in a group, people must know why they must come to you. I think that touched me very much, and that shows, you can't be like a general. You might be doing a general job, but for any person who don't want a general job, what must attract them to you? But one thing I would like our speaker to comment on is the power of reinventing ourselves as leaders. I might be a child. How do I reinvent life and career? That's what I wanted to ask, Prof. Thanks, Prof.
Thank you, sir. I know that you were disturbed by someone there, so sorry about that. But did you get that question somewhere?
Yes, I did, Prof.
Go ahead, my brother. You can respond.
Thank you so much for your comment, Dr. Sifoko. We really, really appreciate that. I submit myself under academics like yourselves, and every input that you make, I really take it very serious.
Sorry to disturb you, someone.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, my brother. Sorry to do this. I think we already lacked your face there. If you don't mind, if it's still okay with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I'm still here.
Excellent. Look at how good you are. We will tell your wife if she's not here.
It's still me. It's not AI. It's still me. Yeah. So reinventing yourself. It's not actually doing a new thing. In your trajectory of self-discovery. Like I said in the beginning, that everybody is born already with folded hands. So your makeup already exists. So what you need to do, number one, is to find space and time for meditation, or what we would call self-reflection. Self-reflection is when you are honest with yourself, looking at what you have already found and discovered about yourself. Is it really you? Because nobody can really answer such questions for you, but only you can answer them. So that's self-reflection. May take a day, may take 2 days, may take a year, may take whatever period of time, depending on whether you get the answers to the critical questions you ask yourself. Is this really me? Have I really discovered my potential? It's what I'm doing, really what I was born to do. Is it only a career? Is it a purpose? Is it passion? What is it? And when you have found the answers to those questions, you may still occupy the same space, but with awareness of the true state of who you really are. So what we call, what Doc is calling reinvention, it's actually going back to reflect on yourself, on the truth about yourself. You see, people have reputation about us. People are saying a lot of things about us. But what you say about yourself carries more power, carries more weight than what people are saying about yourself. And it's an add-on, it's a bonanza if what you are saying about yourself actually stems from the truth you have discovered about yourself. So that's my contribution, Doc, that reinvention, it's not actually starting afresh about your potential, about your makeup, but it is going back and asking yourself truthful and uncomfortable questions. And the answers to those questions, it's what you and I would call reinventing ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I I I I see a hand there from Sis Nomkita. I'll come to you, Sis Nomkita. I just want to buttress on Dr. Sifuko's question. So, Samuel, for someone who's old, obviously you spoke about the spirit of ageism. Someone who's old, someone who's been in the game 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, has been there. This person has already discovered or found his or her space. At that level, is a point of locating or is a point of increasing what we have already discovered or mastering what we have? Is it about stages in terms of where you are? Probably for younger generations, you can still say locate, find, or discover your potential, but maybe at a certain level where now you've at your game, but you still have now to master and increase it, or it's a matter of what you have, but you can maybe you still have something else that you are not aware that you can still locate. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think to answer that, Prof, pragmatically, we do have people that are of age, many years doing something that does not actually represent their true potential. I mean, with the kind of work that I do meet such people. And what you are essentially saying is that majority of people who are of age have already reached a point where they located their potential, used their potential for some time. So my input on that particular aspect would be a person of age that is well experienced, that has done so much over the years, should not be complacent, should never reach a point where they think that there's no more room for the increment of potential. Potential has no ceiling. Potential has no limit. What you know in your space, it's not all there is. There is still more to know. And remember that at that level or capacity of being of age and well experienced, you still have people that still need what you carry. And some of the people may know about what you already carry and might not need what you already carry. That's why we are talking about increase of potential, that if people, let's say your peers, come to your space and they know about what you know, how will you contribute to their development, to their acceleration, if you have nothing, even Lilliputian, to add to their journey as a value? So increase of potential actually prepares you to be able to make relevant and necessary inputs to anybody in this world who occupies any level. Let me close it by saying, you are a professor, and Tate Majola. You have academically, you have been there, you have done everything that needs to be done in terms of national qualifications framework. You have reached all those layers. But that does not mean that you know all things, even in the area of what you have studied for. There is still somebody that can still share knowledge with you that will add value or increase your potential in what you are already doing in that area. So it is not only about how far I've gone in terms of age, how experienced I am. There is no ceiling where potential is concerned. We need to continue refining that, building that, and increasing it. Thank you. And by the way, my wife is also here on the platform. She has commented that wife is here. He really does look good. So thank you for that point, that Majola. It has actually made my wife to make that comment.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Yeah, Sis Amanda is here, and we thank you so much. Of course, you wouldn't be where you are without her. You wouldn't be who you are without her, and we really appreciate her as well. And I agree with you, definitely. Knowledge is provisional. Whatever you know at any given time, I mean, it's ephemeral. So someone else, even in your space, in your area of expertise, there will be someone else who may know better than you, or something than you, that you can learn from each other. That's powerful. I see my colleague there. So let me first take Sisnum Kita, and then, if you don't mind, Samuel, let me take both of them. I'll take Sisnum Kita, then you'll be followed by Dr. Kumamangisa, in that order. Then I'll ask you to respond to both of them. Over to you, Sisnum Kita.
Thank you, Prof Majola, and really thank you to Coach Baloyi for a very inspiring chat this evening. We do also acknowledge the presence of your wife, and the support and love that you guys share between each other is kind of palpable. So we also appreciate that. So throughout your talk, I was reminded of what Miles Monroe, which I think you would know, used to say when he was still alive. So he used to talk about how we are all born with the potential, pretty much what you were saying about a baby is born with his fist clenched, meaning his hand closed. But how he used to put it was, you are born with a seed in your hand. And he used to say, what you are born with, I'm not going to talk about the whole principle that he spoke about, but he used to say, what you have in your hand is a forest. Because he used to make an example with an apple. If you are born, like if you have an apple in your hand, and then you have the pip of an apple, and you take that and you plant it. But I think I'd encourage people to actually go through YouTube and find how he talked about that, because it was quite inspiring. But basically what he says is, what you are born with basically is not just one apple, but you are born with a forest. So, which is pretty much what you are saying. You also said something about how, something he used to also say about the richest place on the planet is the cemetery, where he spoke about how people died with their unwritten books, with our businesses not started, with our potential not unleashed. And those, pretty much what you were saying. But my question, listening to you this evening, was whether the work that you do is located appropriately, in inverted commas now, at the level of adults, where I'm asking myself, would it not be more impactful if it was located within young people? And perhaps when we get to our adult stage, it gets to us as a reminder. Even though I'm saying this, even though I understand that spiritually, we all know it. We are born with the knowing. And at whatever time that you are reminding us or telling it to us, you basically are reminding us in terms of who we are, etc. But you kind of answered some of this in your last response, where you're saying it doesn't matter what age you are. When you get the message, you get the message. But I'm hoping that I'm coherent. When I'm excited about something, my thoughts come at like 1,000, speed per whatever. So that I just wanted to one affirm, but also wanted to check, wouldn't this kind of learning be even more impactful if we brought it into the consciousness of our kids at a young age, so that as they grow, they understand exactly who they are? Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Sister Mkita. My brother, Dr. Mangisa, over to you, sir.
Yes, no, thank you. Thank you, Prof Majola, and thank you to this powerful speaker of us today, Mr. Samuel Baloyi. I must confess first, Prof, and to the audience, the leaders, that when my chips were down, doing the executive work when I was still employed, I found this coach, and he is the guy who was at the forefront, sideways, back and forth, coaching and mentoring me to be where I am today. And I'm very proud, for him to be able to identify, the potential within me, not to continue think back, to believe that, I was still good where I was. He mentored me to believe that there is more that I can still give, to people, in as far as the knowledge, the little knowledge that I have. I commend him, for that. I had a similar thinking, with the previous speaker, to say, perhaps, what is it that you do, to be able to identify, the young kids, that, would, tap into this knowledge, these ideas that you have, so that, them going forward, and become adults, whether they are at church, universities, and so forth, when they become adults, they would have, drunk water, into this well. But as I was listening, I thought of saying, perhaps this is for the kids. But from my experience and continuing to listen, then I found it, that it is not only for the kids. Sometimes there are challenges that we face, be it at board levels, be it at executive levels, but we still do need, these kinds of messages, these kinds of ideas. But the question is, for me, how do you make sure that at a young age, at universities, at high schools, kids are able to tap, into this wealth of knowledge? Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Samuel.
Thank you very much, Sis Nomkita and Dr. Mangisa there. It's really good to hear from you one more time, Dr. Mangisa. So I think the the question above the commendation that they've given, the question is, what am I doing in order to take this message to the young ones? I will again reiterate, premised on experience, that we may be seated here thinking that all adults have located their potential. I can tell you right now, premised on the daily job and assignment that I do for adults who are much older than I am, much educated than I am. It's not everyone that has located their potential. It's not everyone that is living in their purpose and in their assignment. And this is why Sis Nomkita is quoting Dr. Miles Monroe, because the message of Dr. Miles Monroe made more sense to her at some point. So, as I said, that where growth is concerned, brothers and sisters, there is no ceiling. Each and every one of us seated here, for us to make sense of the message that has been shared tonight, I think I must challenge all of us to also take a responsibility, not only me, but take a responsibility to take the very same message in a way that we can package it contextually to the audience that we'll be dealing with, and take it also in our ends to the young ones that may need this message more, as you are suggesting. And I will do that in my end. As let me say, I'll continue doing that because I'm already doing that. I give lectures also in universities, in TVET institutions, and in high schools as well. I deal with a lot of young people. So this is one of the presentations that you will agree with me that it's relevant for life. So I take as well the guidance, the advice to also scale it down to the young ones. I will make sure that I reach out to more of them, but I'm also appealing and imploring ourselves to also do the same whenever we can, so that this very message can not only reach those I'm able to reach, but can also reach those I am unable to reach. So thank you so much on that advice. I take it, and I will make sure that I fulfill it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. I definitely think that it's very, very important to be reminded about these principles, even if you've at a certain level. That is why I said, and I still feel that we really needed this talk, because it's very inspirational. You know, we may find ourselves complacent, and we now and then we need to hear something like this. I want to believe that you address a wide range and broad audiences, from youth to executives to leaders. To it just happened that tonight we were addressing us as leaders, but I don't think you don't go there and address young people as well. But I do understand and agree with Sister Kita that at a certain stage, it's more talking about people who still need to locate their potential, but there's a certain stage where we still talk, or rather have to talk about increasing, because it has to be increased. I really agree with you. Even if you've been there for 20 years or 30 years, you still need to increase it. You still need to ignite it, to master it. That's why we appreciate a talk like this. I'm a professor at a business school, and I teach executive development programs. So I deal a lot with executives and board members and CEOs and all this. And you can imagine people have been there for so many years, but they still come to business school to be taught leadership, to be taught governance. And it doesn't mean that these people don't know that. They know it, others, they studied it many years ago. They practicing it. But now and then you need to come and be reminded about certain principles, even something that you know someone else may put it in a different way. That's why we say leadership, it's a journey. It's got to walk the journey all the time until we go to the grave. But thanks, my brother. Let me take the last one. I see Sibusiso there, Majola. We'll take him and then I'll ask you to respond to him. And then as you respond to him, maybe you'll also give us your closing remarks after you've responded to him. Ndabezitha, over to you, sir.
Good evening, Prof. Good evening, colleagues. Thank you, Prof, once again for this wonderful session. I'm one of the people that have been following the session for a very long time. And I don't think I would have learned what I've learned in this forum. No other platform would have given me what I've gained. And, the environment at my work, I see the impact that wasn't there and wouldn't be there without the platform. So thank you for that. And so thank you, Mr. Baloyi, for sharing us the presentation and the knowledge with us. One thing that stuck with me is the uniqueness in each and every one of us. The temptation is that one would want to be like others, and forgetting that uniqueness is the ticket, to your growth, personal development, and so on. So thank you for that reminder. My question is regarding the growth. One is trying to pursue that growth, and you mentioned that at times you need to relocate, move to a place where there's opportunity instead of sitting in one area. But there's also another aspect here where maybe the growth comes in another direction, and there's another direction, maybe not so much growth in terms of what we're talking about. So I'm referring to things like remuneration. So there's another opportunity that comes and gives more, but not exactly the same as the other direction. So how would you navigate that, and what advice will you give to a person that is faced with that situation? Thank you.
Thank you, Ndabezitha. I think it's easy to answer that in this manner, that growth is not focusing in one area. And I'm happy that you are actually raising as well that aspect of growth in other areas, such as the finances. I've actually given an advice recently to somebody who was saying to me that they are suffering burnout because they are not being promoted at work after so many years. Also a feeling of entitlement was there, to feel that if I had spent so many years in the place, then I deserve to be promoted. And that's not how promotion also works. We are talking merit attainment of certain promotions in the corporate based on merit, based on results of performance, depending on the organization that you work for, of course. But the one that this person works for, promotion and all of those things are based on merit. And if there are people who are doing far much better than you are doing, the employer will obviously prefer those people over you. It is just the reality and the truth of what is transpiring and happening in organizations. But this is what I said to them, Prof Majola, that, or actually I asked the question first, why do you want to be promoted? Is it for significance or is it for increment financially? And they were honest with me that it's about financial increment. And this is what I said to them, that look, if you don't get the promotion that you think will then service that need that you have financially, instead of you beating yourself up, instead of you developing negativity at work, instead of you suffering burnout in your career just because you are not being promoted, how about looking at the growth that you need, which is the financial growth, and be strategic and be innovative on designing methodologies or ways of attracting more income that may end up matching the income that you are going for when you are being promoted? Will that give you fulfillment? And they said, well, since this is what I want the promotion for, it will definitely give me fulfillment. Then I offered my services to say, okay, let's have appointments, discuss the opportunities that do exist around you and based on your potential, your capacity, your skills. Let's look at how you can attract more money over the money that you're already earning. If that is what you are looking for in the promotion, then the growth you need, it's not the echelon growth or growth in echelon, but the growth you are looking for, it's economical growth. So it means our focus now should be on your growth of your finances. And I mean, as I talk now, I'm waiting for them to confirm that appointment with me so that we can go through that process of finding ways of increasing their finances so that they can find fulfillment. So I'm with you, Ntate Majola, that growth is not growth of one area. I mean, it's physical, it's psychological, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's economical, it's social, and any otherwise. So it depends on where one wants to focus on a particular area of their growth. Then they can be coached, they can be advised on how to grow in that area so that they live a fulfilled life. And let me pause here to give Prof Majola.
And thank you very much. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Indeed, we've learned a lot from you, my brother. We've learned a lot from you, and we'll be definitely inviting you again to come and inspire us here in this platform. So sorry that, as I said earlier on in my welcoming remarks, that obviously we do know that it's a busy week, Easter week. We do want to come back again. We do need these inspirational talks now and then. Very, very important. Obviously, it may be a different topics that maybe you will cover next time. But thank you so much for a very, very insightful, very impactful presentation. We've learned a lot. You've reminded us so many principles tonight. I can see that my colleagues are appreciating you there. Can we do it once more, ladies and gentlemen? Please touch a button there that you can see that will be appropriately appreciating our speaker as we are thanking him for his time, for his availability, and for whatever that he really dished out tonight. Very informative and, as I'm saying, very, very impactful. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have our YouTube channel. So I did see other people were requesting to record. Our policy is the host is the only one who records for many different security reasons. We cannot just allow everyone to record, but the recordings will be available. We do have our YouTube channel. This will be posted in our channel. Please do check it or check it out and do subscribe there. You can, all our material actually are posted there. So you may even want to see or check whether it's last week or last month or a few months ago, everything is there. You'll find different material there from different speakers. So please do that. Other than that, thank you so much to my brother Samuel. As I'm saying that, definitely we will be engaging you again, because we can see that we learn a lot from you. We always do. Check there in the chat room. He has left his contact details. So I would really encourage ladies and gentlemen to please take his contact so that you can engage him. He addresses many different topics and themes at workplaces, themes at executive level, youth, anywhere, at all levels. So please do use him. Yeah. Other than that, thank you so much, especially to those who have joined us for the first time. Please remember, we meet every Wednesdays. We are a community of leaders. 90% or even 95% of people who are attending this platform are our past speakers and our past panelists. So speak, and then they just come back again to listen to others. So all of us in this platform, we are experts from different areas and angles, but we are so humble enough to listen to each other and to learn from each other. I'm happy that my Professor Ndluli, always remind us that we learn a lot from each other. We grow or we learn together, we grow together. He's got this way of packaging it that I love it so much whenever he said it to me, and it reminds me about the work that we do. So thank you so much. And yes, and once again, thank you to Sis Amanda. We really appreciate you, my sister, and thank you for the work that you are doing with my brother Samuel. Please keep up the good work and continue moving and shifting the needle. We need leaders like you in this nation. Thank you so much. The session is adjourned now, ladies and gentlemen, until we meet again next week, Wednesday. May God bless you, and may God bless Africa. Kosi Sigelela Africa, until we meet again next week, Wednesday. Thank you and goodbye. Thank you very much.